Hey, what's up you guys? You're watching Team APS, Paul here. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a deck profile on my Shaddoll Dinosaur deck. So it's a deck that I got interested in a couple of months back and I finally got around to building it. I still was missing a lot of cards for a long time, but I finally got everything and I just want to say it's actually a really fun deck. It's sort of a rogue strategy, so I would expect it to be able to do really well at locals, possibly well at regionals, maybe not like super well on the big stage, although we've seen this deck like top some events earlier in the format, so who knows. Anyway though, I'm just going to explain it. I'll try to make it kind of beginner friendly, and yeah, for those interested in picking up the deck, it's not ungodly expensive. Hopefully none of the prices of the cards change too much, so yeah. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can see all the mini deck profiles I've got coming your way over the next few days. So, yeah. Oh, and by the way, I'm recording this before the ban list. If the ban list drops and something does change, I'll update this, but I don't expect too much to change with this deck. So, yes. First things first, we've got Souleating Oviraptor. He is the Stratos of the deck. When he's normal or special summoned, you get to add a dinosaur monster from your deck to your hand. Or actually, you can send it from the deck to the grave as well. So you get a little bit of an option there. Generally, you'll be adding it to your hand unless it's Overtex, which you definitely want to put in the grave. So your turns will usually start by like normal summoning him, sending Overtex to the grave, which I'm going to get to here in a second, and then getting its search for the double evolution pill. And then now you've got him on the board. And like since he's level 4, you can use him with Giant Rex, make some Xyz monsters, things like that. His second effect is also pretty useful. You get to destroy one of your monsters and summon a dinosaur from your grave in defense, so you can actually bring back Ultimate Conductor and things like that, and Overtex if it was summoned properly, those sorts of cards. So he is very, 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 very handy. You want to see him on every possible like first turn or anything like that. You want to revive him if you can. So yes, next up we've got two Overtex. I don't know how to pronounce the second word. Qoatlus? I don't know. Anyway, so when it gets sent to the graveyard by a card effect from anywhere, you get to add a double evolution pill from your deck to your hand. And that's kind of the main combo of this deck is, like I said, you want to use your Oviraptor, send your Overtex, and Overtex will search your evolution pill. You'll use your evolution pill, and you can summon Ultimate Conductor, or even a copy of this if you want. So its effect on the field is actually okay. Whenever your opponent uses a spell or trap, you can destroy one of your dinosaurs and negate it. So it's pretty good protection. And you can summon it its own way, although it won't really happen kind of till mid-game. Shuffle 5 banished dinosaurs back into your deck to special summon it. When it happens, it happens. It just doesn't happen much. So he's very handy. And then, of course, you have the big boss monster of the deck, Triple Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. So this deck's been around for like over a year now. Everybody knows this guy is really strong. He's like definitely a boss monster in every sense of the word. Really high attack points, and you can, Book of Eclipse your opponent's entire field. And when you do, you can trigger effects. This deck actually has a lot of different things. Like if you send a Shaddoll monster for his effect, you'll get, those different bonuses, or you can send like Overtex and get a search. So there's a lot of ways that you can plus with this really strong quick effect. Though you want to remember it can only be used in the main phase. It's good at disrupting your opponent, but you have to be careful. It is possible to bait it, so you want to be smart with how you use him. Anyway, the high attack points and being able to like flip everything face down is strong because then you can start attacking things and inflicting damage to your opponent, and because he can attack all of your opponent's monsters once each, you can deal a lot of damage and clear a board very easily with this. So he's strong, and he can also summon himself like Overtex with his just inborn summon effect. Normally you'll want to summon him with double evolution pill, but you can just summon him normally by banishing 2 dinosaurs from your grave. So it's actually rather easy to summon, especially because Oviraptor will be pitching so many things to the grave quickly. It's pretty easy to do. So yeah, these are your boss monsters. Having both in the field is great, but he's the highlight. Next, we've got the Shaddoll monsters. So to be completely honest, these monsters are almost what I would call bricks. You're really running them because you want to be able to use Shaddoll Fusion, and you want to be able to, get like benefits from their effects, but you don't really ever want to see them in your hand. So you guys know what the Shaddolls do. The lineup I'm running is 2 Squamata, a Hedgehog, a Dragon, a Beast, and a Falco. I think the biggest change I'd maybe make to this is having 2 Hedgehogs instead of 2 Squamatas, but I actually only had 1 Hedgehog, so that's why I went with this. Anyway, though, they each get different effects when they're sent to the grave. They also have their flip effects, though you won't generally be using many of those. Maybe Falco when it summons itself. The idea is that you really would like to use Shaddoll Fusion to send these from the deck, and after you do that, you have non-dinosaur monsters to use with Double Evolution Pill. If you happen to draw them in the hand, though, you can use them with Ultimate Conductor and still get their effects. And I also have like Allure of Darkness and Hand Destruction, so there are ways to make some kind of use of them. Some of their effects can come in handy a little bit. Beast gets you a draw, Dragon can like pop spells and traps, and Hedgehog, if you actually get its flip effect, can search Shaddoll Fusion, so it's very handy. And also, if you ever send Squamata to the grave, then you can send another Shaddoll, which means you have two non-dinosaur monsters to use for like your Double Evolution Pills. Then we have some one-of monsters. We've got Miscellaneousaurus, Giant Rex, and Dogaran. Miscellaneousaurus is limited for a reason, very strong card. You can protect your dinos from your opponent's monster effects, and you can banish it from the grave and get, another dinosaur from the deck. Since I'm not running Aluelo, I don't know how to say that. I'm not running him. This is mainly only useful for getting another Oviraptor from the deck, so you'll have to have 4 dinosaurs, which is a bit steep, but it happens sometimes. Giant Rex special summons itself whenever it gets banished, and Double Evolution Pill conveniently banishes him. So then you'll get to summon him back, and then you can like overlay him with something like Overraptor to make Laggia or Dolkka. Pretty handy. He can even get pretty big himself. Another way to banish him too is to use him with your Ultimate Conductor just when you're summoning it. So he's handy. He shows up a lot. And then finally we've got Dogaran, the Mad Flame Kaiju. Running Dogaran specifically because it's a dinosaur and Oviraptor can search it. So if you're facing off against like Masterpiece, which is like this deck's kryptonite, it's every deck's kryptonite, you can search Dogaran and then immediately deal with Masterpiece that way. And there's not really anything that most true Draco decks will be able to do to stop it. So it's very handy to have a searchable Kaiju like that. You can also summon him with Double Evolution Pill. It won't come up much, but if it does, know that you can. You're out of targets for everything else. And then finally, we've got everyone's favorite hand traps, 3 Ash Blossoms, 3 Ghost Ogres. Love them or hate them, they are what they are. You need to have these. This deck has no defense otherwise, so you want to be able to stop your opponent's plays using these girls because you don't have any trap cards, and they're handy. Ideally, you'll be able to actually use them before using Double Evolution Pill so that you can have them as your non-dinosaurs to banish for that as well. And they're tuners. So if you want to run synchros, you can. Next, we've got Triple Fossil Dig. It's just there to mainly search Oviraptor, although you can search like Giant Rex, Miscellaneousaurus, cards like that. It's very useful. Double Evolution Pill, the centerpiece of the deck. So you banish from your hand or graveyard 1 dinosaur and 1 non-dinosaur, and you get to summon a level 7 or higher dinosaur monster from your hand or deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. So normally, Overtex and Ultimate Conductor have some summoning conditions, but this will completely ignore those. It's very handy. And then, like, if you get to banish Giant Rex, he'll summon back, things like that. Next, we've got Triple Shaddoll Fusion. So, ideally, this deck wants to go second because it really wants to just kill its opponent in one turn. Ideally, doesn't always happen. But if you're going second and your opponent made a crazy board, then you can use Shaddoll Fusion and send monsters from your deck to the graveyard to fulfill this. So you can send the Shaddoll and get like, a draw or a search, and then send like Overtex, for example, who will then get you your Double Evolution Pill to your hand. And now you've got Winda and potentially Ultimate Conductor Tyranno set up in one really easy go. Other than that, you can use Shaddolls that are like on your field or in your hand. You don't always want to, but the possibility is there. Hedgehog can search this, so that's why I was thinking about running 2 Hedgehogs instead of just the 1. Sometimes this can be a bit dead though, so it's hard to say, but I think 3 is the way to go still, because you do want to see it in a world of Pendulum Magicians and things. Next we have Triple Hand Destruction. This probably seems a bit excessive, and it's something I might change, but Hand Destruction helps because you do run a lot of monsters that can be a little bricky in your hand, like the Shadolls, Overtex, those types of cards. So Hand Destruction allows you to send those, get some draw power, and still trigger their effects. The ideal way to use Hand Destruction would be like sending Overtex and a Shaddoll monster so that they both pay for themselves, getting a Double Evolution Pill, then getting like a search or something, or a pop, and you also get to see new cards. Fill your grave for Double Evolution, those types of things. Problem is, your opponent can play around this card if they know how to. If your opponent doesn't have 2 cards in their hand, you can't actually use hand destruction, so be wary of that. Foolish Burial is just another way to send Overtex, or Shaddoll if you need to. Giant Rex. Triple Allure of Darkness. You have lots of dark monsters, so this is your draw power outside of hand destruction. And Monster Reborn, because being able to resummon an Ultimate Conductor out of nowhere is extremely good, or just being able to summon an Oviraptor because it will still get its search. That's the main deck. So no traps, like I said, you don't get much defense, so you really gotta make strong boards and try to hold on to them. So I'll quickly go through the extra deck. We've got double Shaddoll Winda and a Shekhinaga, because we do have some Earth monsters. Winda plus Ultimate Conductor is extremely strong. Your opponent, well, both players, but mainly for your opponent, can't special summon more than once in a turn. So having to deal with an Overtex or a, Ultimate Conductor plus a Winda can be really, really debilitating. Then we've got some rank 4s, Evolzar Laggia, Dolkka. They're dinosaurs, or well, they're dragons, but they take 2 dinosaurs. They're good negations, especially Dolkka in this monster effect heavy format. Then we've got Tornado Dragon, Castell, Baguska, Abyss Dweller, Utopia, and Utopia the Lightning. These are all just good rank 4s to go into. Tornado Dragon is probably the most relevant right now, but they can all do something in some situation or another. Superdreadnought, Rail Cannon, Gustav Max, because you can actually make this with Ultimate Conductor and Shekhinaga and burn your opponent out. It comes up, so, you know, you never know. Underclock Taker, Decode Talker, and Borlo Dragon are your link monsters. I think the only change I would maybe make to this extra deck is adding perhaps like a Synchro. It would just be like something like Black Rose or Black Rose Moonlight, because your hand traps are tuners, Falco's a tuner, so sometimes you'll find ways to make level 7s, and that would be the most useful thing. But yeah, that's the deck. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Again, a very fun rogue deck, one that I think I've enjoyed it. I think anyone should build it if they like dinos and you're not too into the whole Lost World variants of the deck. This is another way you can take it. So yeah, that's the profile. Hope you guys liked it. Give it a thumbs up if you did, subscribe, and I've got plenty more deck profiles where that came from, so you'll want to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of them. Alright, that's going to be it. I'll see you guys in the next one.